Oh my god, Joey. Oh my god. The lights are low and the pressure is high. This is a near winning cast. As always, my name is Johno, and I'm joined by Joey.
Hello.
And we have the UK Nationals final today.
The final.
The big final.
The
Yeah.
final.
So,
Winner gets to go to America.
that's right. So, there's a lot riding on this. The winner gets to represent the UK at Worlds in Minnesota, which is where the centre of the world, it turns out.
Yeah.
And
second place gets a rather nifty bag.
Yeah, backpack is great. And so our two candidates for this trip are on the left, Alex White from the Midlands and Birmingham.
From the Midlands, yeah.
Birmingham in particular, playing his RP, and on the right, Tim Fowler from Bristol.
Bristol. Used to hail from Birmingham as well, so they
You're
played
right.
each other a
probably
bit
hung
when
out in
Alex
that club.
started, yeah, so...
And he's playing Kate. So, it's fair to say that their nerves were high for this. There were a lot of people watching.
Yes,
I mean,
there was a lot
in
of people
person.
watching. Hence
So-
the shaky camera.
Yeah, well, yes, and that's the reason throughout Eliminations.
Yeah.
Alex starts by icing. Now, icing, R&D and archives. I guess the only reason is I can think there's a crick,
It's maybe.
or maybe he's got a handful of snares. I don't know.
Snares, yeah.
And he's also installed an early Sundew and iced it, which is good. So Kate's going to go after the Sundew with the early prepad and Astrolabe. So a good start from Kate as well.
Yeah,
it's fair
for
to say.
sure.
And he's decided to try and go after the Sundew. He can't go
Prepaid
past the
Short
hidden
Gamble
sea.
Astrolabe is quite nice.
That's right.
Stuff,
It's a good starting hand, yeah. So you want to kill this Sundew, right? You don't want RP to get too rich.
You want to kill this Sundew.
Yeah. So Alex is just going to draw a lot of cards, and then install in a remote, triggering Astrolabe, of course. And the Sundew money continues to pour in.
Were they timed for this?
Okay, so I believe that they are timed in the final.
So Alex is playing like,
surprising
really
to
fast,
me.
which is something he
But
often
he's
does.
had an hour and a half off. He's been waiting for this game, yeah,
Bang, bang, bang,
for a
bang,
long
bang.
time.
I've been planning this turn for 2
Whereas
hours now, yeah.
Tim's brain's goo at this point. I mean, they're both going to have brain goo, but
Yeah. But Alex should be fresher after his break.
yeah. And they were both a mess of nerves. I was stood right there watching with everyone else.
It's a big deal. It's one of the biggest games of Netrunner you can have, apart from
That's right.
World Final.
That's right. That's right.
It's pretty much there, so I can understand that.
Um,
DBS is going to help.
So DBS is really good influence in RP. I mean, the fact is that
So wait, so I just missed that. Did Tim play an Atman?
Ammon at 2.
Atman at 2 to get the Sundew. Sure.
He obviously felt like he had to get it,
Sure.
which I think I get. But yeah, it's a bit of a yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Well, he got it, and that's that's the thing.
He didn't want to leave it hanging around. So now, is it fair to say that neither of these two decks are particularly exotic and full of unexpected surprises? They're both just going to be really solid decks, right? You're not going to expect surprising twists from either one.
There's nothing, no huge surprising twists.
I mean-
I don't think Alex is playing Scorched, and I don't.
Yeah, that's
think,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
Tim might have something like a cheeky vamp or something like that. There might be
I
some
don't
things.
think it'd even be that cheeky. I think a vamp is almost crucial in a
Sure.
RP heavy meta.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, nothing crazy. It's KRP. You get to the final. Get to the final of a national championships, especially one with 160 odd players like the UK.
Yeah, that's right.
You need to play good decks. So it's not a place to experiment.
That's right. That's right. So the credit count has dropped a little bit for Alex since the Sundew trashed, and Tim started.
Scores Nisei.
Yeah, made a cheeky punt on R&D, didn't get anything, but yeah. So a scored Nisei is dangerous. We haven't seen a Caprice, but there's absolutely zero chance that there is
No
not 3
Caprice.
Caprices in this deck.
Sure.
So
Both people are very poor. Alex is playing very, very fast. He's playing really, really quick.
he is a fast player.
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily reflects.
I think he's
badly.
pushing Tim to play at his speed as well. Because,
Yes,
you
that's
know,
true, and maybe that's
Because Tim is normally a bit slower and a bit more calculated. But Alex, I think, is definitely pushing him along. But Tim's looking in quite a good position. We've talked about it before with RP. He may have a Nisei counter, but no money and no ice
True. That
on
means
HQ
future perfects
or
and
R&D. R&D. So Tim just needs to find some pieces to go deep now, really. And then,
So installed behind this Himitsu, what do we think that is? I mean, it's probably mental health clinical, right? Something, right? Because Amana 2 means it's not safe, whatever it is.
it's not Sunji.
It's probably not a Sunju, yeah. So it is a mental health clinic, yeah. I mean, the other thing was it could have been a Jackson, I suppose.
I think Tim needs to. He needs a piece of burst economy. If he has a lucky find in hand now, that'd be great. He needs to trust that DBS, I think.
So do you go after the mental health if you're Kate? I mean, it's a credit turn. Maybe you just don't worry about it. It's like a credit to get in, 3's trash.
DBS first.
Sure, okay, all right.
Like DBS first. If you,
it's gonna let him filter out the
if Alex
get
gets
the
poor
caprice
again,
that much faster. Throw away the future perfects, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you go for it if Alex makes himself poor again. But right now, Tim just doesn't have the money to go in there and trash it for credits. I mean, maybe he does. Building up a scoring server.
Yeah, so it looks like this third remote is going to be the scoring remote. We've got a Lotus and I'm not sure what's on the outside, but it could be an Eli or something. It's a pretty reasonable one to assume.
Yeah, with the Caprice in there, that becomes a pretty safe server. Right?
And Tim's already got his third prepaid down and then plays Lucky Find for he's a very lucky find, yeah. that's gonna help quite a lot.
I bet if that is an Eli, he's really wishing that Ant-Man was at 4 now, though.
Yes,
I mean, Lotus Field.
He probably won't have to scavenge, but he might have another Ant-Man. So just install the Jackson and use it firing Astrolabe again. So what's he looking for at this point? I guess he's looking for Caprices or more Niseis.
Caprice and
He's going to
Agendas.
get a Nisei train out. So he's going to install in this remote. Proco. Great cards. Great cards. So Tim's going to use the Proco. Proco, fun behind the scenes fact, is one of the most annoying cards when editing as well, because it fires all the time and it's single credit games.
Yeah.
Right, so what do we think is in this remote? It's got to be a Caprice or maybe an Ash or something.
Or the agenda. If he drew an agenda there, his HQ's open. It's much safer down there
that's
than
true.
it is in his hand.
That is true.
I think he would have put, if that was almost any agenda, he just puts it in there, I think. But yeah, also a Caprice or an Ash or anything really. Yeah, so there's more things going in there.
So there's a second card. Now, one of them's the agenda then, and the other's a Caprice, probably.
So yeah, Alex's scoring window is diminishing.
Although he didn't advance anything.
There's money. There's a lot of money now on the other side of the board.
Yes.
And he's found his SMC.
He's got SMC, so he can burst in. This is Tim. So I was stood behind Tim at this point. He suddenly had a. I didn't say anything. But he suddenly had an urge to rearrange his rig.
Yeah.
But he's a lot tidier now. He programs the hardware and the resources.
Clumping together.
Okay. So
I just don't think he's going to hold on to agendas. I think everything's going to straight into the remote.
I mean, yeah, I feel like you might be right. This remote is good. He didn't advance anything though, so there's no threat of a score this. Well, there's no threat of a Nisei score this turn.
Sure.
I guess we can assume that he's got a 3 Nisei, 3 NAPD, 3 Future Perfect set up, but it's maybe not. So he can't score anything this turn. He's going to double advance something.
It's possible that he's maybe slightly different from that, but
yeah, you can change one of his 3-point agendas.
Those lines, or only 2 NAPDs, and there's options, but they're the sort of agendas you're looking for.
Okay, so now if this is a Future Perfect, then the Caprice is obviously protecting it, and he's going to bounce off HQ and run on the remote on click 3. Now there is a Nisei counter, so if he loses the Psy game, then he's not getting in. But he's going to hit the E-line bounce because he's got an SMC, but I'm guessing his lady is in his hand, based on his reaction. Is one of barrier breaker solution.
He's also probably just cursing himself about that Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
4 strength pieces of ice back to back.
So pad and DBS, but let's see what's in that remote. I was only advanced twice. So it's a Nisei. Okay, so it's Nisei. Which means he's got 2 Nisei counters and presumably a Caprice in this remote. This is when you want to vamp, right? This is when you want to vamp and just go in.
Well, if he vamps, he gets Nisei. So he's got.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's too late. The moment for vamp has passed. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's going to install the lady, and he's going to just. I feel like you just have to hit. You have to go for the Caprice. You've got to kill Caprice, right?
You've got to kill Caprice. You've also got to try and hope that
you can't wait for an agenda to be in there.
he doesn't find agenda.
So he hits
strength to
Sarugi.
Ant-Man.
It's strength 2.
Becomes useful.
So it obviously is great foresight on Tim's part.
on the strength to Ant-Man.
He could take the net damage if he doesn't care. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's totally legit.
He does in fact not break it, so he's going to take 3 net damage. Lost Deus Ex and a lady, so he obviously had more than one lady in hand. He's going to hit an inline, that's no good. So he's got 2 clicks left. Yeah, he needs to remember his counters. Thank you, Alex. So he's got 2 clicks left, so he's going to diesel.
Yeah, he has to see the agendas before. I mean, with DBS, Alex is going to be able to see one deeper each time.
I really, really would have liked to see him go after that Caprice. You've got to kill it because you can't wait till there's an agenda in there. It's too late. And DBS, like, he didn't kill the DBS.
Alex
so
has 5 credits. That's all he needs.
That's right. So what's going to happen if he got the agenda? It's going to go straight in. Or Jackson as well. So many ways for him to get the agenda.
Because now he can install advance if he do an agenda.
That's true. Well, he's on 4 points, so he would need a future perfect, for instance, to close it out.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
But you score an Nisei, right? You get a 3rd counter.
Oh, it doesn't really help you. Well,
so SMC is going to get a mimic. Okay, so now he can walk through the Tsurugi. Although he could already break it for a credit apiece.
I don't think save any money on that because
I don't think that's
Batman was still the same cost.
Unless there were rotos and stuff.
He's just realised he has.
Yeah, he's just realised his mistake. It's right. He's going to stick with it. That is a shame. And that's what happens when you come out of the loser bracket. You're going to make
what happens when you have
suboptimal decisions like that.
And you haven't had one all day.
Yes, that's it. You don't think about it.
It's not exactly the thing you normally have down.
So we're going to make his eye. So Mimic's going to break. Let's see. You're going to get Celebrity Gift. He does get the NAPD and mental health. Okay, but he does also know that the DBS isn't going to do any work for Alex this turn, which is good. It's not cheap, but I still want to see him go after that Caprice and kill those Nisei counters. I mean, he might have a Caprice in hand, and there's nothing you can do about that, but I'm a little worried that this remote is just a ticking bomb now.
I'm almost surprised Alex didn't, after he spent the 4 credits, Nisei counter the Maker's Eye. He's got 2 Nisei
You could have. I mean,
paid off.
Maybe he thinks he's not going to give up 7 points, and he wants those counters for when he gets the agenda and puts it through.
I mean, if he sees a future perfect now, that's game.
That's it. So he's using Jackson.
2, 3. He needs to win 3 side games.
And eventually he's going to get the agenda. Celebrity Gift, okay, let's see what he's got. This will be quite interesting. He's going to hide some cards as well. So he's keeping sort of Caprice. So he's got no agendas. He's got 2 Jacksons. And some ice that we don't really care about. Strength 2 ice as well.
Yeah.
2's the new 4, so that's a good decision.
With soccer counters, spend 3 man's pretty good.
That's true. There's no data stack though, but yeah. So I feel like this remote is just ticking time bomb, but
Tim has to do something before Alex can find the agenda. But the thing is, even if Tim sees a future perfect on R&D, he has to then win the side game.
The other thing is that he can make us again. He's going to see fresh cards. Now this is the same decision now for.
Alex.
Okay, so Alex is going to use Jackson. He's not going to use Nisei token, he's going to use Jackson, which suggests to me that he has an agenda in hand. And because he wants to... Now, he wants an agenda as soon as possible. So the fact that he's going to make...
maybe he's just preempting the maybe there was... No, why would there be agendas in Archives? I was thinking maybe there's agendas in Archives he's preempting the force the Jackson and then go again.
Yeah, I don't...
To get fresh
possible,
cards.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I don't think that was the case.
See, Enigma and Ash and a future perfect. Okay, so Alex wants that future perfect.
Yeah, if he hasn't got one in hand, Alex wants that one really badly. And it's 3rd down as well, which means that...
Yeah, he's going to get... It's 2-1,
Sorry,
so... There was cheering. Tim's cheering section cheered because he thought he got it, but he had not. It was 2-1. So Alex won it, and it stays in R&D.
But it's 3rd down.
It is 3rd, so he's not going to get the DBS, but he can draw it and just hide it in his hand. So DBS gets trashed, in fact. Interesting. So he's going to get the first card, which I believe is an Enigma, and so now it's the 2nd card. Now, does he draw twice and just hide it in HQ? I think it looks like that's what he's going to do. He could also then install the Ash in the remote. So he's going to draw it. He's got it. It's in HQ, and he installed in the remote. I think it's the Ash though, rather than the agenda.
Sure. So
maybe he's trying to bluff a run, except the future perfect's not.
If that is an Ash and a Caprice and 2 Nisei counters, next turn Tim has to get it this turn.
That's right. He needs to get in there, and he needs to.
Or he needs to win. He could just
Singularity is a card, Joey.
He could just go into
not against Caprice, but
he could just go into R&D and try and win the game as well as his other option. But
that's true.
2 Nisei counters, he's really on the ropes now.
Another Maker's Eye. Yeah, another Maker's Eye would now give him fresh cards, but
Nisei, 2 Nisei counters.
he's got 4 clicks, and that's got to be game in that remote, right? There's no way it's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he's got 2 Nisei counters and presumably a
Psych
Caprice.
is,
So he needs to make
aggressive
3 runs, and he's got more money. So Ash is going to keep him out. I don't think, unless Tim's got a stim hack or something, I don't think he can do anything here. But let's find out.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So he's going to take net damage to save himself some money, and he's going to just check R&D.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
seems
it's
like
like he's going to lose some cards because who cares? Vamp, too late for Vamp. Modded, whatever. He's a Nisei. Okay.
Ooh.
He's got 4 points. So there's a 3-point agenda in that remote.
So he's got 3 clicks. No, but he just Nisei. He needs to win
he's
3
got
side
to win
games.
3 side games in a row, and he knows it. So
I would have gone R&D. You know?
no, but then you give up the remote.
3 side games, 1 in 27. It's not going to happen.
I don't. Yeah, no, you're right.
To be honest, if someone said to me right now, take a 1 in 27 chance of being UK national champion, I'd take it.
Yeah,
But I was in the final.
and he doesn't get it, so he concedes. And Alex has won. Amazing.
There could still be a pitch perfect in R&D.
You're right. He could have run R&D, but I believe he does ask the question.
I know. Sorry.
But you're right. He could have done before he conceded. But yes, yeah. So quite an incredible finish to the day. And Alex, deserving champion. But there's lots to be said for Tim, who played really well throughout the day as well. And I think that. And
Great
I think,
photo. I like it.
yeah. And I think that it was the nerves were on show. The whole game was, both players were very kind of the nerves and the long day got to them. There was a couple of suboptimal plays, but they kind of muddled through it. And I think Alex just kind of had the composure. I mean, he had the lengthy break, and
Yeah,
you've got
I think
to
with Alex, even being nervous, making suboptimal plays, like he still seems to be able to make the right call every time. It's insane how fast I see him just like make calls and take risks without ever thinking about it. He always surprising me, but I think that could have easily gone the other way. Given that he went down to 0 credits to score the first Nisei, something we saw happen Zenesis do, something we saw
true.
Dave Hoyland do, had almost no ice on centrals. Kate can really just bounce up and bite you at that point.
Yeah, it could easily have hit pitch perfect stuff.
But I think the DBS ticking over really helped him solidify, find
Yes.
some pups, find a hedge fund, bounce back up. But it could have easily, if Access had gone the other way, if Tim had found his pieces and dug a bit deeper, could have easily gone the other way, and we could be looking at a game 2 now. But
That's right. Yeah, you would have liked to see the DBS get trashed, and and Jackson, things like that. Like there were lots of tools there to help Alex get what he wanted and throw away.
Credit swings in that game were insane. I kept looking
Yeah.
down. It was like 3 versus 27, and
Yeah,
then suddenly
that's
it's
right,
like 13 versus 0. You know what? They keep
Yeah.
flipping all over the place.
And I think that I think Tim struggles by the fact that he hadn't had a break in so long.
Sure, yeah,
because
it's
I mean
tough.
things like he had the strength to outman installed the mimic for the Sarugi. Like he forgot
Yeah,
he
there
forgot that
was
he could
some
break
quite
it.
big mistakes like
and
that.
just little things like that. I mean, it's I don't think it's a mistake. I mean, it's a mistake, but I don't think it's an error in judgment. It's just the position he was in. I think on a normal day he would have made that decision very.
He got to the
he would have
final
known
because
exactly
he was the
what's
most
going on.
consistent player, second most consistent player on the day, and
That's right.
and yeah, he just played a ridiculous number. I think we worked out that's the most consecutive games of Netrunner probably anyone has ever played.
Yeah, so he would have played 8 rounds. I think we played 8 games in a row. Yeah,
8 games in a row, and
During-
obviously with
during
the
Elimination,
Swiss, there was
yeah.
14 games.
Yeah.
So he played 22 games of Netrunner, back to
That's right.
back.
Yeah, that's right.
And even like Worlds, which also had 7 rounds of Swiss, or maybe even 8, they had the cut the next day. So we did 7 rounds of Swiss into top 16 double elimination in a row. So yeah, I think 22 games of Netrunner Tim played with very little break. Maybe half an hour, 15 minutes between Swiss and cut. So it's amazing he was even able to remember the rules, let
That's
alone,
right, yeah.
let alone acknowledge that he already had a strength to outman when he put a mimic down and things like that. So yeah, well played to Tim.
Yeah.
Second place. Gets
Congratulations
the
to
rucksack.
everyone. Yeah.
Congratulations to everyone.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's so bitter about
It's so
that.
bitter to
but
get the
yeah.
rucksack.
Yeah.
But you know, he's still got a chance. There's
That's
other ways.
true,
There's
yeah.
BABW coming up.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's right. And I think actually, so Alex will obviously represent the, if you want to call it that, the UK at Worlds. But I think there'll actually be a fairly large Worlds contingent.
there is
for
a
the
lot.
UK.
There's a lot of UK players.
He's getting paid for, obviously, but I think that there'll be a fair number of some of the regulars who we saw during this tournament and in previous
Yeah,
tournaments.
there's at least there's at least like 20 thinking about it, and
Yeah.
probably 10 that have seriously
Actually gonna go.
thought about
Like, bought tickets
bought
and
tickets and things, and bought flights. More importantly, I've got a ticket, I just haven't got flights, which is so I'm
Sad
probably
times.
not going to go. I'm going to give up my ticket because I can't afford the flights.
Sometimes, yeah. And I'm not good enough, so yeah. So
It's not about being good; it's about having fun, Jono.
okay, well, yeah. So I guess the Americans better watch out. Is that
Yeah,
what we're
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, we're UK world champion. Calling it.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
got a
I mean,
chance.
I don't know.
Dave,
Alex is really good.
Dave represented us last year, and he made top 8.
Yeah, he did. He did well.
As our only UK representative. And if this year we're taking 10 players who are all of that caliber.
I don't think you should get ahead of yourself, Joey. I think Alex will go.
Calling it.
I think he'll do very well.
UK world champion. I'm not saying it's Alex. I'm saying what Dave's going. Dave Hoyland's going again.
Yeah, okay.
Alex is going. There's lots of great players
Yeah,
going.
okay.
So
Yeah, great. Okay, so it's been it was an incredibly long day, but it was a good day. So I guess we should close out this very lengthy series by thanking the venue,
which was the
which
UK
is
Games
good.
Expo,
Which was good. The Games Expo. I'm not going to say great. I obviously was super annoyed with the tables because they're really unstable.
Hence
but
the shaking
yes,
and stuff. Yeah, but the organisation of the tournament was phenomenal.
Yes,
so even
that's
though
right.
Like, you know,
so we
that was
should give a
Coop
shout
and
out to so those guys did a great job on the day to corral us all and
Was
without
so
a
many of
PA
us.
somehow.
And without PA, they
shut themselves hoarse.
they did a really good job. Everyone knew what was going on and
That's right.
ran smoothly. So
yeah, and it did, and it finished by like 1 or something, which is
it was quite
fairly
early,
decent considering and then so after the final, we all went to the hotel bar, and had a couple of drinks, and
drunk. There was actually a cocktail called Junebug, and
That's right.
so there was a
had it.
lot of Junebugs. Tim was drinking Junebug, like Alex was there. Everyone was there drinking lots of Junebugs. So that was fun.
Yeah, that's right. So it was a really good day. So I look forward to Nationals next year. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, Nationals next year will.
I've already booked my room. I've already booked my
Have
room in the
you?
hotel. That's
Oh.
right. It's cheap if you book it well in advance. So
I should
already
do
booked
that, or like buy a tent or something. I don't know. I can.
it.
We got more space next year, so that'll be good.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've heard
Nationals.
that. Okay, great. I've enjoyed this whole series. I think it's good. All these
been
Nationals
good, it's been
videos,
long.
it's been good. Yeah. So
Sorry about the shaky cameras.
yeah,
They'll be fixed.
yeah,
like from now on, that
do
hopefully will
apologise.
be not so much of a thing.
I do apologise for that. I did a lot of learning in May.
Yeah.
And since. Next up on our schedule at Near Running Grid is we're going to have footage from the BABW Reading. So we can talk very quickly about the BABW, which was a fan-run series of tournaments to bring another Brit to Worlds. So
Yeah.
Alex is great, but he needs a comrade.
Yeah.
So there was a whole series of tournaments. I think there were like 12 qualifiers, something like that.
12 to 15.
Yeah, there were a lot of qualifiers.
Satellite tournaments. It was an Android Netrunner Pro Circuit ANR PC.
Yes, that's right. It was
subsidiary,
affiliated
the
with that,
UK
yeah.
subsidiary. So we had 12, 15 qualifying events.
Which culminated with the grand finals, which took place in London quite recently, actually. That's the distant future of videos. We'll have those as well.
Yeah,
But
so
next
there
up,
was 32 players made it to the final in London, which has also been recorded and will coming up. But first,
that's right.
Reading.
Yeah, so we're going to do the Reading qualifier first. We were very happy to get a qualifier, so I got some footage from that day. I didn't play on the day; I was just filming and TOing, but Joey did. So we'll definitely see some footage of Joey, as well as some other regulars that we see as well.
Yeah.
And before then, we're going to have a little interlude. We have a draft game just to
one draft
slow
game
down the
next
pace
week.
a little bit. Yeah, something a little bit different. Great. So. Joe, I want to thank you for helping me out with this video and
thank you
the
very much for all the hard
entire
work.
entire national series as well. It's been very helpful. And I want to thank you, viewer, for watching this video and all the other videos that you may or may not have watched during the UK Nationals. And we'll see you very soon.